Perhaps one of the hottest topics in real estate over the last 2 years has been interest rates. Are they going up? Are they coming down? They're spiking, they're dropping. What are those interest rates doing, and how is it impacting buyers in the market and what it will do to real estate prices? So today we're going to dive into just a little bit about what interest rates currently are as of today, July 7th, 2023, and what that may look like for you as a buyer or a seller, and just some general knowledge as to what we expect going forward and how they may impact the market. Before we dive into the content, my name is Matt Lunden, and I put out content each and every week discussing what it's like to live right here in coastal Delaware, along with some information about the real estate market here. So if you are interested in learning more about coastal Delaware and what it's like to live here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you are someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in coastal Delaware, that's what we help people with every single day, and we would love to work with you. So all my information will be down below in the description and here on the screen. Don't hesitate to reach out. We love hearing from you guys here on the channel. Now let's dive back in. So today, July 7th, 2023, we take a look at the interest rates, and not a whole lot of good news there. We are back at the highest interest rates we've seen since November of 2022. So they're pretty elevated. Right now, I just checked this morning, they are at 7.2 to 7.25%, depending on where you look at. And that's a far cry from where we were not too long ago. Back in the start of 2022, we saw rates still in the threes. So we've doubled in interest rates, and that has a big role on affordability and what buyers can look at. So a lot of buyers that, maybe had put things on hold for a little while to kind of feel out the market and see, where things are at, those same buyers cannot afford the same homes they were looking at before. If they were looking at $500,000 homes, A, those homes now cost $600,000, but B, their budget is likely only $400,000. So the homes that they were considering before are no longer in the picture, and that has affected the way a lot of buyers are entering the market and what they're considering. We've seen a lot of cash buyers still in the market just to avoid those interest rates. We've seen some different financing stuff with, people pulling from retirement plans and other avenues to not have to pay those elevated interest rates, especially when we come to the investing market and you've got a even higher interest rate than that conventional 7.2%. An investment loan is probably closer to 8% at this point, which again, it's historically not crazy, but looking back over the last 2 years, those interest rates are astronomically higher than where we were in 2021, 2022. So it's definitely playing a role on affordability and how people look at the deals they're looking at. Now, on the seller side, you may be wondering, what the heck does that have to do with me? Well, if buyers are being more price conscious and buyers are having a little bit harder time spending the money because of the interest rates, that's going to affect your marketing strategy as a seller and ultimately your pricing strategy. If you need to get that home sold quickly, you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive in your pricing because buyers are just so sensitive to price right now. So they're not going to go after something that was slightly inflated before. They're going to wait until that price is where it should be versus, a year ago, they were paying the extra money to get into a home because there was so much competition. There's still a lot of competition out there, but it's just a very price conscious competition. The people that are going to be most affected by those interest rates are likely going to be first-time home buyers, those that don't have a ton of cash for down payments because they're going to have much larger loan amounts in relation to their purchase price. So while they may be purchasing at a lower price point, they have a much, they might be a 95% loan to value ratio. So those interest rates definitely hurt those first-time home buyers. And in a lot of cases here in coastal Delaware, just because of where our prices are, it eliminates a lot of those first-time home buyers from even potentially buying a home just because that monthly payment is much higher than they're able to spend. It takes some of those buyers out of the market. So a lot of those lower priced homes, in the 300 to 400 range, which would have otherwise been first-time home buyers, a lot of them have become eyeball investment opportunities. A lot of the homes in the $300 to $400,000 range have now become hot ticket items for investors that are looking to get a deal because investors in a lot of cases can pay cash for them. So those lower valued homes, because the first-time home buyers are impacted by interest rates, a lot of investors have stepped up. They're taking a look at those homes and condos in that price point because it could make sense for them to get into something a little bit more cost effective, and they can get the returns that they want while not having to shell out as much cash as they would have if they were looking at a $600,000 or $700,000 investment property. That brings us to our next point. Where do we see rates going from here? What does the future look like for the real estate market? And while I don't have a crystal ball, I can't predict the future 100%. If I could, I probably wouldn't be selling real estate. I'd probably be, a billionaire somewhere. But interest rates going forward, typically in election years, interest rates always get better. It doesn't matter which party is coming or going, just the fact that in election years, they typically do get better. So we're looking at the second quarter of 2024. So Q2 2024 is kind of where we're eyeballing rates to come back down. I think they'll touch back into the 5s at that point. Obviously, a little bit of ways to go, and anything in the low 6s would be great, but I think they're going to touch back into the 5s. And the reality is, if it gets back into the 5s, we're going to see a flood of buyers come back into the market, and it's just going to drive those prices right back through the roof again. As soon as those interest rates tick down, if they come down the 2% that I think they're going to, it's going to blow the lid off the top of the market, and people are just going to be spending money again because they view that as a much more affordable range. And that 5%, there's a lot of buyers comfortable with that number. So as soon as it ticks back into the 5s, I think prices are going to shoot up just because there's still a lot of buyers in the market. And as interest rates tick back down, it's going to bring more competition on the buyer side back into the market, forcing prices upwards. I don't see a crash happening. I mean, even if it were to happen at this point, I think we're only going to lose 5 to 10% of property values. You know, after appreciating like 50% over the last 2 years, it's going to be a drop in the ocean at this point. I think that, you know, as we progress into 2024, you're going to see more people flooding into the market because interest rates will likely ultimately get better. They tend to always do so in election years, and I think this year is going to be no different. That's going to do it for today's video on interest rates and just what we kind of expect going forward. I hope you guys found some value in today's video. If you did find some value, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Smash the notification bell next to it just so you can stay in the loop each week when we go live with new content. And then again, if you are someone that is looking to buy or sell real estate here in coastal Delaware, that's what we help you with every single day. And we love hearing from you guys here on the channel. So all my information is going to be down below in the description. And once again, right here on the screen. If we can help in absolutely any way, don't hesitate to reach out. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.